Morning, folks. This day soap is brought to us from Barrister Man, B&M there. And this one here is called Seville. The soap looks like this on the inside if you're unfamiliar. I'm not real familiar with Barrister Man soap. So if there's more than one soap base of this particular scent, I couldn't tell you one way or the other. It doesn't tell me on the label. But what it does tell me on the label, at least it gives you some sort of hint of what the scent is like. It says citrus, herbs, and oat moss. I got a little sticker right here. And like I said, not real familiar with Barrister Man. I know with all the soap I have, this is one that was sent to me by the way, Steam Sprague. I don't have a whole lot of this, so it's all new to me, I guess you might say. I'm going to follow Day's Shave up with a Hega Original. This one here, it also tells me what the scent is, which is citrus and musk. It tells you right here. I've got a link down below for these products. This one here, it might be kind of surprising in that the website that I've got linked down below selling this right around, I think, the $8 mark, which is relatively inexpensive. 130 milliliters is what it starts out with, which I think figures out to be, I think, 4 ounces, I think, something like that. In other words, a bit more than the 3.4 is what I'm getting at. Excuse me. I have it whipped up here in my smooth bottom bowl. That's what I've got it whipped up looking like right now, which is looking pretty good. It's a little on the damp side, but just about drippy, almost. Close enough. And I've got it whipped up here with the Envy Shave brush. I've had this brush for a while. It's got an aluminum handle here, and it came to me by the way of our Facebook group, Shavette World, and there's what it looks like there on the bottom. I've always had really good luck with this brush, whipping up nice lather. The knot being what it is, synthetic, I guess I should say. First time go with this particular shaver in more ways than one. This one here is a Henckels. I think the model number is like 410, it says there. And I don't know how much of that you can see with the glare of the light. But this particular shaver here is looks really, what caught my eye when I bought this was, of course, the red scales. Those red scales look really, the color just really pops. Now, this would be the side probably to show, because the other side doesn't indicate that. There is of course, you got the third pin, and that's what it looks like through the underside there. You kind of see that spacer, and I can't tell for sure. It doesn't appear to be that way, but there's which I knew when I got this. There's some cracking on the scales, more or less coming from that center pin right there. Don't think that's going to affect anything in the way of the shave, but boy howdy, those scales, that red, to me just made a world of difference. Now, as it goes for model numbers, I'm not real familiar with these model numbers. I think I seen is either a 415 or a 420 with different scales, which they still look pretty nice, but I don't know, really don't. In other words, this whole setup is almost all new and unfamiliar to me, but got to start somewhere, right? So we're going to have a straight razor shave this morning, and see how this works out this morning. Already put a hot towel to the face this morning. Got the usual suspects. Guess before I get too far gone, huh? I got the Crown Keen Allen block complete with the rubber band this morning, and also going to be sporting the Stirling unscented mentholated witch hazel. And going to go ahead and get started with the Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements Ice Cube. This one here is methylated. Going to have that nice cooling effect. On a different note, the weather here, of course, is rapidly changing with the hurricane that's down on the coast, working its way through Louisiana and Texas. It's affecting the weather here. I could definitely tell it yesterday. Sometimes my sinuses are a good indicator that the weather is changing. And yesterday I had a pretty good headache, so that was an indication, plus the amount of drainage, kicking stuff up around here. So we're expecting some rain here pretty soon. going to be interesting how it plays out, because they're calling it heavy rains is what they're referring to it as. So, and you know, if it's anything like the rest of the weather around here, give it a moment, it'll change. It's been a little dry around here, so we could use a little bit of rain. Of course, you know, about like any place else, you kind of prefer it to be kind of over a period of time and not all in one night or days, for depending on how this is going to work out. All right, here we go. It whipped up pretty nice, and by the way, the scent, my nose doesn't pick up any particular individual scent. It just as a whole, it smells really good. I guess to go right along with the name of Seville, depending on what your knowledge is or familiarity with that particular word, for me, of course, it dates myself. It goes back to a Cadillac. So, in other words, this name usually is associated with, I guess you might say, the finer things. It does smell good. It really does. I may have to try to run down the aftershave one day. I'm not sure. But it really does smell good. First time go with a Henckels. I'm going to see how it works. 410. Not real good with all these model numbers and what that means. How I found this one here is it's cutting really nice. You see all the whiskers over there. I got a damp towel over here on the side that I'm wiping the shaving cream off with. How I found this particular shaver was I am a member of a forum, and if you're kind of sort of familiar with straight razors, Lynn Abrams may be a name that you might be familiar with. They got a forum, straight razor forum on, excuse me, that I found this. They have a little section on their forum with straight razors for sale, and then they got one for brushes and so on and so forth. And I just happened to find this one at the right time before it disappeared off the for sale part of the forum. Really good price. Basically, I guess you might say for somebody just starting out, which this edge is really good. Wow, this is pretty nice. Definitely an excellent buy. I know for some people the scales with that little bit of a crack right through there might be a little off-putting, but it doesn't affect the shave, and it seems like that crack's going to be all right. I might look into, see if maybe there's a repair or something that you can do. And it may not necessarily be a repair, but something to stop the crack from, I guess you might say, growing. Yes, this is a pretty nice edge. Really nice. Easy to shave with. If this is somebody's first shave with a shaver like this, you might get spoiled. I've had a pretty good luck. This is not the first straight razor I bought from there. I have another one that I've got off to the side, I guess you might say, waiting for that right moment. And it's a, matter of fact, it's one that Jill has. It has the same naming. I just don't know if it's the same width. But Jill had if I remember right, a double duck special, and I got one of those. Plenty of slickness, that's for sure. Can't say that I'm not disappointed in the soap and the slickness or the performance, and the scent is really nice. I can't say enough about this scent. It smells really good, at least per my nose. You know, scent is subjective, and also that my nose is actually picking it up from time to time is maybe that's going to be a good thing for today. Because my nose doesn't always work. Yeah, I'll go days without hardly smelling much of anything. It'll have to be pretty strong. You know, kind of like, you know, having things that are mentholated, that does help my nose quite a bit. I do pick that up. So when I say something's not over the top in the way of menthol, it might be for you because, like I say, my nose, not the best in the world. It does smell good. It would be really easy to finish this shave without saying much. Being so, I guess you might say, so focused on the quality of the shave. That's my daughter, by the way. She is actually awake, which is a little odd sometimes at this time of the morning. Really nice smooth edge on this. I know I said it a few times, but it is really nice. It's close to being like my Ralph Ost. Guess you might say I might have to look in a few more of these kind of shavers, see how the edge works on it. This one here, if I had to guess, I think this one here might be, I don't think this is stainless steel. It doesn't indicate so. At least to the best of my knowledge. Like I said, I'm not the most knowledgeable, so if somebody knows something different, I think how it's spelled is INOX, INX, or however you want to pronounce that. I think those are the stainless steel ones, and I'm thinking if it doesn't have that on there, then it might be carbon steel. That's at least my thought process. I have to say the length of this particular blade is a little bit closer to being to my liking. It's not quite as long. It's easier for me to maneuver. Really nice shave. Sure, I'm glad I got this. I mean, it's hard to translate what you see on a video and try to translate in words on how the shave is going. Outside the fact you're not seeing any blood squirting anywhere or anything quite like that, but this is a really nice shave. I'm gonna have to let him know. Yeah, he's been putting on these shavers are pretty nice. I definitely, yeah, definitely a nice edge. So depending on how you want to look at it, what your price point is on various items, especially when it comes to straight razors. Um, Prices on straight razors, you know, vary depending on the size. In other words, whether you're getting 5/8 or if you're getting a 7/8, and the scales sometimes will affect the price. but no more than what I paid for this one here. I think I got an excellent bargain. It's very encouraging to have one like this. It makes you, I guess you might say, look forward to the next shave and the next straight razor that shaves like this one. Got just a little bit of stinging, which from time to time I do get a little carried away with the pressure, especially right here on my sideburns. I have a tendency to get just a little aggressive right through there, because I also know that that's I guess you might say, a thick growth point. So I'm trying to get a little bit closer. And typically, believe it or not, that's not the part that grows out the most at the end of the day. It's usually right here on the neck where I'm a little bit more careful about the pressure. So in other words, I may not get it quite as close. I don't really notice it, right after the shave, but it's usually later on in the day is when that's more noticeable. But in order to get proficient with a straight razor, you need to shave with it on a regular basis. And I don't. I do enjoy my shavers with especially like a single edge, September coming up. Speaking of that sort of thing, in other words, what I have on the side over here is I've got a Schick injector that I've got setting, waiting in the wings. What it is, from time to time, I have this strip right through here that grows in different directions, and just a couple of quick strokes with this if I feel the need, especially when I'm off camera. But like I said, that's almost like with the Shavette. It only happens maybe if I'm shaving on a daily basis with a straight edge. Second, maybe the third day, I might feel the need to do that, because getting really close through here on this side of my face, especially like right through there is where it's at. It's not the easiest to get with a straight edge, whether it's a Shavette or a straight razor, because of the way that it grows, and it's easier just to catch it real quick with a injector for me right now. That's what I got set aside, and just a quick little moment and I'm done. This, if you have not tried it, there's two different flavors. This one here is original, then Upsalsa is the other one, and it'll be blue in color. The website I got linked down below will have this one here as well as the blue one, and both of them are reasonably priced. Like I said, this one here is $8. Don't recall for sure if the other one's the same price. It might be $9. That's what my memory's telling me from days gone by when I looked at it. This particular aftershave, it is unique in its ingredients, because I think one of the things that it mentions here on the ingredients, if I remember right, see if I can find it real quick, I think it has potato starch in it, something like that. Something a little unusual. At any rate, it is really good stuff. I mean, for the price, it is hard to beat this. For what it does for the face, how it makes the face feel right after a shave, moisturizing properties, in other words, just makes the face feel really nice. Like I said, hard to beat. I've got both of them, both flavors. So in other words, Shave and Butcher, Maddie, those folks, in other words, if you're familiar with them, they're the ones that turned me on to this. Matter of fact, Maddie sent me my first one, the Upsalsa. He sent me my first one, and then which prompted me to buy, more of this, because it is really that good. Like I say, makes the face feel really nice, moisturized. Had a great shave. Really enjoyed it this morning. Hope everybody's doing well. Whether with being what it is, stay safe and stay healthy, and smooth shaves to you.